It is me, Johnson Chan, and hopefully everyone's had a pretty good weekend. Actually feels like it's been more than that, but I literally just spent my Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday just playing World of Tank Blitz, and then just trying to relax. Because obviously gotta worry about some crypto projects. I have to worry about trademark stuff, and then of course trying to relax from programming. So, and then I also had some other side things to be doing as well. Well, I feel good. I got a great night's sleep last night. I'm down to 174.4 to 174 pounds, so probably by tomorrow I can drop my weight down to like 173-ish. We'll see. Because today I'm just going to minimize how much meat I eat today. Just enough to barely keep me from getting hungry, and then the rest will just be like macadamia nuts and, the Quest protein bars. Because I actually had burgers for 2 days in a row, so I kind of want to chill a bit on, well, chill a lot on the meat today. So anyway, I've got a meeting with redpoints.com in about 2 hours. So I still want to get a bunch of stuff done before I have to talk to them, and then see if I can actually find an alternative way. But before I start filing lawsuits, because those things, as I mentioned before, are pretty expensive. They're $402 a piece. So got a lot to deal with. And of course, the markets are down, crypto's down. I'm still thinking about this, and because it's so early in the morning, because right now it's 9:06 a.m., I haven't had a chance to listen to Cryptos R Us or Greg Manarino. But if I had to guess, I think it's just more manipulation, which is unfortunate because this means they could probably manipulate. Because I think today's market action might actually be the Federal Reserve, like manipulating everything. A lot of this just doesn't make sense. But again, it's only 9:07 a.m. Let's just see what pans out because everything is down. Right? Let me refresh this again. So we look at. I've also gotten better with the uhs and ums because I've noticed that now that I actually know what to look for, I actually notice everybody does it a lot. You just don't notice it. So maybe it's just me. But I'm still going to try to eliminate it. So that means I'd rather have a pausing silence where I'm actually thinking. It makes me smarter. So this is the Bitcoin interest for the United States, but it's really the same thing worldwide. If I just clicked, yeah, if I clicked worldwide, it pretty much mirrors the same thing. Yeah, it's exactly the same. But I just do the United States because it's good enough. So let's go back to the United States here. So you can see that it's basically pretty bad. It's about as bad as what it was during crypto winter, or getting pretty close to that. So retail interest. So I'm getting conflicting data on this. Cryptos R Us shows that more and more people are joining and more retail investors are actually buying crypto right now, which I think is actually true, but overall interest throughout the world, right, and the United States is still overall low. So what does this mean? That means people who've been thinking about crypto for a long time, people like you and me probably, they know that now is a good time to get in. And they know what, and I generally assume that they know what they're getting themselves into, and they're willing to take the punches, which is good because that's what you're supposed to do. But the vast majority of people are like, yeah, we don't care about Bitcoin anymore, which would be consistent with what I saw in a Yahoo article I think I read offline on Friday or Thursday, where they were asking some rich hedge fund guy, and he said, I forgot where it was. It might have been BlackRock. But he said that before, when everything was going up like crazy, earlier this year, everyone was questioning him about Bitcoin. Now, right? Nobody even mentions it. So he says that no one's interested in buying crypto, which is unfortunate because if we look at, oh, I didn't refresh this page. If we look at the 24-hour volume, at one point, like 20 minutes ago, because I went to brush my teeth and do my morning routine, 24-hour volume up here was 49.7 billion. It's extremely low. Right now, nobody wants crypto, and that's what's killing everything. And of course, now that I refresh the page, Bitcoin's now heading to 30 grand. So July should have been a good month, but it's pretty obvious that the powers that be are just going to say, go F yourselves, and they're just going to manipulate everything now. So, I don't know. I think even August might actually be pretty bad if this trend continues, which sucks. So the only silver lining is the Bitcoin hash rate's starting to go back up. Bitcoin hash rate. Because usually when this goes up, the price of Bitcoin goes up as well. And right now there's a slight dip going down. So maybe Bitcoin miners are starting to like feel the pinch. So we're just gonna have to see. All right. So earnings are up, but markets are down significantly. Right, across the board, crude oil is down a crap load of money, minus 3.3%. Precious metals are down. The VIX is up. So nothing makes sense right now. Nothing makes sense. Why is literally everything in the world going down? That doesn't make sense. Something has to be going up. Even the dollar that was up a lot before is now under a little bit of pressure. So again, something's going on, right? Because if everyone's that scared, they should be going into the dollar and the bonds, which I'm still kind of seeing. All right, we're going CNBC. We could actually see that there's a lot of bond buying. Like, it's going crazy. Like, there's so much fear right now. Okay, so let's actually see if we can get some clarity, because the Yahoo articles are just completely useless. There's no point in me really looking at crypto. Right now, crypto's just going to shit. Like, it's really bad. It's really bad. Actually, it's probably going to be negative for the year, right? At the rate things are going. Because what was Bitcoin at on January 1st, 2021? I never even paid attention at the time because I didn't need to care. Well, let's do a 1 year. Okay, so December 31st, that's good enough. So Bitcoin was at 29,374 on December 31st. Yeah, we're going to actually be ending Bitcoin on a negative note. Actually, probably by tonight. All right, it only needs to go down another, what was it? $1,400 or $1,600? Yeah, this is really bad. This is really bad. So before I go on, I've actually have been, great, why I gotta refresh this. I actually have been converting my profits into pure stable coins. I'm not even holding any crypto. I mean, I'm honestly holding crypto in my DeFi, but the profits that I take every day, because now I'm going to take profits every day. Oh my God, Pancake is now down to $12.03. Yeah, this shit's tanking. Yeah, everything's dying right now. It's so frustrating. But everything that I have, I'm going straight into cash. I'm holding stable coins. Because that's the only thing right now that's actually safe. That's the only thing that actually is safe. Because, you know, everything else goes down, but you have the dollar. Your dollar is actually going to buy a lot more. With that being said, and I'm also trying something else out with this as well. Wow, it's down to 38 cents already. You know, jet swap here. So I'm actually back in Wings, even though I know it's going down a lot. But what I'm doing different is on Beefy Finance. I guess we could open this up now. What I'm actually doing is this. Let's see, I gotta do Control F. Yeah, this is the liquidity pool that I'm doing. My God, it's already down to 919. This thing was at like 1100. This shit's yeah, everyone's literally selling off, and I figured it out. A lot of people are just not transacting in these coins, so the APY is dropping significantly. That's what's also happening in Hotbit liquidity pool and AutoCake. Like, people are just selling off and not doing anything. But right now, the dollar. One thing I'm testing out is Wings and the Binance dollar. That's BUSD. That's the stable coin from Binance. It's actually holding value extremely well. So going forward, like, if I knew that I was going to invest in something high risk, I would actually have something that's the high risk coin, which in this case is Wings, and I pair it up with something like the dollar. It's because the way I look at it is, this is a very high interest yield dollar farm. That's actually how I'm now realizing I should be looking at this. So yeah, Wings could go to like close to zero, which it shouldn't, because Merlin token, the scam coin, went down to 10 to 20 cents, right? So how is Wings supposed? Wings is a legitimate project. Like JetSwap.finance has actually opened up the Ethereum Polygon version of Wings. So they're obviously developing whatever. So I don't know. Like, people are just being effing retarded, and it's just kind of pissing me off. But there's nothing I can do because I'm not the Federal Reserve. I'm also not BlackRock either. So, you know, in other words, even if Wings goes down to close to zero, which hopefully it doesn't, I'm still getting half of this APY. Right? So I'm basically getting 460% interest rate on my dollar. Where in the world can you get 460%, 460% interest? And in addition to that, it's in dollars, right? Pretty nutty, pretty nutty. All right, so let's take a look. I'd imagine, like, if this doesn't shake people out, I mean, what we really need is everyone to start taking a huge dump on crypto and saying it's a failure. So in fact, if we actually have Bitcoin drop below what it was on January 1st, so what was it, 29,000? Okay, let me get the actual effing number because I'm getting annoyed. Let's see, December. January 1st was 32,127. Wow, it gained $2,000 in one day. Or 3,000, I should say. Okay. So this could be a little difficult. Alright, so we're already below the January 1st start of this year. So technically, Bitcoin is a negative return for the year right now. And has been for days. So we could fall below December 31st, so that means 29. Yeah, so what we need is Bitcoin to actually crash like 25 to 20K. It's going to suck, but like I've said, I'd rather just get it over with. The problem is, in the past, Bitcoin will always go up a lot and then down a lot, and when it came down a lot, it would go back up a lot very quickly. That's not the case here. And Greg Manarino has also been saying that now he thinks cryptos are basically manipulated. He still remains long on cryptos, but it's pretty obvious to me that this is all just pure manipulation at this point. Like, if you had the power to manipulate Bitcoin prices, yeah, you would do it. Especially since you know that you can collude with central banks and other people. So this is just an extremely aggravating and frustrating experience. So, you know, I don't know, like Bitcoin 29. I mean, there's just no reason for this thing to go up. Right? Everything's just selling off. And then you have market manipulators, you know, also trying to tank the markets, which they're doing today. I mean, it's just not a good setup. Right? Dollar's slightly stronger, oil's down a lot, bond yields are going down because people are very scared. I have to actually find out what it is. Yeah, like look at this. Dow futures are now down 522 points. Nasdaq and S&P is also down 1%. And that's on so-called strong earnings from everyone. So what does this article say? And business optimism is up. So it's clearly obvious that that a lot of people are lying, and there's a lot of manipulation, and people are just like, okay, you know what? I don't give a shit. Just dump it all, right? It's just like that movie, The Big Short. Dump it all tonight, all right? What's that? Let me find that clip because there are two movies that are very similar to each other about the exact same event, and I keep confusing the two movies. You know, because The Big Short has Christian Bale and what's his name? The guy from The Office that plays Michael Scott? Michael Scott, actor. What the hell's his name? Steve Carell, that's his name. I remember it just as I hit the enter key. Right, it's got Steve Carell, The Big Short. Because, yeah, right, yeah, it has Ryan Gosling, right? It's either from this movie or the other one, and it says, you know, just sell it all. And yeah, I remember the Jenga clip too. That thing was really good. Michael Burry. Let's see. But yeah, but basically, I don't want to look for the YouTube clip. I'm sure it's a very famous clip, so I'm sure you find it, you'll see it. It's like just sell it all or dump it all. That's basically what I'm seeing here, and I'm not too thrilled about that. Let's see. Okay. Turkey's cryptocurrency bill ready for Parliament as Deputy Minister of Finance. So, okay, so that's good, I think. That means Turkey. Actually, I don't know. Is Turkey trying to ban crypto or are they trying to heavily regulate it? Okay, Ethereum documentary. I don't care. Grayscale, 100% committed to turning GBDC into a Bitcoin ETF. Yeah, that's the other thing too. The Grayscale unlocking thing basically is now bullshit now, which is good because now we don't have to care about it. Because yesterday was the big day. I didn't see much action. Today is Monday. You could say, well, it's big action today, but everything's selling off today. So yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, which is good because now we know. Now we know. Institutional DeFi fund. Yeah, I was thinking about creating something like this too. My own DeFi fund. It'd be a good way to make money and then not have to do anything. Bitcoin price dives below 31,000 after lowest closing and blah blah blah. Yeah, okay, I don't care. Alright, so we got a lot of articles to go through. Actually, I want to read the good article last. Turkey's bill, the legal job replaces a minimum capital required for crypto business operating in Turkey. Legal fair for crypto assets in the country is ready. Okay, so Turkey is already way ahead of the curve, and they're embracing crypto. Unlike the United States and well, really just the United States. Everywhere else is like pro Bitcoin. For now. So, as I said, the people who own this world, central banks, the tribal banking system, they don't like crypto. But on the other hand, A, they can't be everywhere for now, and B, people are actually suffering because of this tribal banking scam. So that's why people are still gonna, that's why Turkey is going ahead. A lot of European nations are going ahead with it. Obviously El Salvador and Paraguay are on the way. Well, I know El Salvador, but I don't know about Paraguay, but, we'll have to, because I think they hit a snag. But the important thing is the germ and the seed is implanted in people, and people still in Paraguay still want crypto, so that's only going to get stronger. Grayscale sets sight on DeFi. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. I kind of need a thumbnail, so I need to make sure I put this last. Grayscale Investment is set to float a fund targeting blue chip assets in the DeFi. Plan DeFi appears on Squawkbox. The fund will offer exposure assets like Uniswap and Aave. Well, with Bank of New York Mellon towards converting its Bitcoin trust into Bitcoin ETF, right? And the SEC is just being a massive asshole about approving it. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this here for the thumbnail. Oh, let me think. Yeah, I do need the thumbnail, actually. The morning sell-off in stock futures accelerated with the Dow futures now down 500. U.S. stock futures fell aggressively today. I'm concerned that the COVID-19 bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Selling futures increased as the morning progressed with Dow Jones Industrial Average futures down. Yeah, here's the thing. I don't think this time around it's going to work because there's a lot more people resisting. I want to be careful because YouTube's censoring everything. A lot more people are aware of the bullshit, and they're a lot angrier about the whole coronavirus shit. So everyone was willing to go along with it last time. This time around, there's going to be a lot more resistance. Now, with that being said, it could still probably damage the markets, right? And that's just how it's going to go. But, again, we'll just have to see what happens. Because if they try the same shit they did last time, this time around, all the conservatives and Republicans are going to get pissed off. Even Donald Trump has actually now finally figured it out. That he's actually saying resisting the vaccine is a show of support for him. Like, I'm actually glad that finally Jared Kushner and Ivanka have finally fucked off, right? Because the people who actually ran the Trump administration was Jared Kushner and Ivanka, right? They're the ones that fucked everything up, right? Yeah, everyone hates Trump, but no one, like people think it was all him. No, he's not creative or empathetic enough to come up with all the shit that he's done. That's why it wasn't nearly as effective as he could have been. That's also why he deservedly just loses 2020 when he should have won that, right? Because he didn't take the time years ago to, I don't want to get into the whole political thing again, but basically he allowed censorship to happen at a rapid pace and promoted all these stupid, hoaxes and whatevers at the behest of Jared Kushner, and now, we're all fucked because of it, But again, it's better that Trump figures it out now rather than never, and hopefully he'll actually effing do something. Anyway, stocks that would most directly benefit from a continuing swift reopening of the economy led to losses in pre-market trading, with Royal shares of this move losing 4%. Okay, so enough people in the market actually think the lockdowns are coming back. That's what's also going on. God. The 10-year Treasury yield fell to a new 5-month low, blah, blah, blah. And here's the thing. There's a huge incentive to do more lockdowns again because they need to control inflation. So how do you do that? You have to kill the economy. Well, how do you kill the economy? Just say everyone's got to be locked down again. Futures contracts tied to the Dow dropped a shit ton, right? We just saw that. Consider concern on inflation as well as a rise in new cases, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so right now people are just literally retarded. these two things are in conflict with each other. So nobody knows what the hell they're doing. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And then you got the manipulators, doing all this shit too. So it makes it even more frustrating to deal with. COVID cases are rebounded, blah 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 blah, and then more Delta variant shit. I'm singing so. I have to admit, I bet Delta Airlines must be really pissed off about that. I just realized. United and American Airlines shares lost 5%. Delta fell about 4%, along with shares of cruise lines, airlines. Yeah. The market appears ready to take on a more defensive character as experiencing meaningful deceleration in earnings. Wilson is advising clients to buy staples such as Mondelez. Okay. Oil prices fell on fears of slowing growth and as OPEC agreed to begin phasing out production cuts. Okay, so OPEC is actually doing something. So they're actually increasing more oil production, which is going to be a pressuring on crude oil prices. Energy stocks were among the worst performance today. Okay. Oh, ExxonMobil lost 3%. Well, I'm glad that I dumped that shit. A busy week of earnings is on deck, and the 9 Dow Composite set to report the S&P. Okay. We've been in a trading range. This rotational market, value to growth, growth to value. Okay, I think we're kind of in this pair until we can hear from companies. Yeah. Well, let me think about it. The largest banks kicked off earnings season last week. Quarter 2 earnings season is here, and yet in our selling report period is U.S. stocks, EPS. Yeah, what's going to happen is what happens when the earnings come out really strong and they consistently keep coming out stronger and the markets continue to tank. Like, there's just going to be too much confusion. Inflation fears weighed in on stocks last week with the U.S. consumer. Yeah, the Federal Reserve has actually been coming out and saying that this inflation stuff might actually be worse than they initially anticipated, which is technically honest and true. On the economic data front, the National Home Builders. Okay. Unchanged. Portfolio Nasdaq Composite is blah blah, and that's the end of the article. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to say that this week is probably going to be complete dog shit. But it could very well change. But yeah, I would definitely just go into the dollar. I wouldn't go into anything else. Stocks are shit, crypto is shit, and even precious metals, as you can see, is shit. Like crude oil is shit. I would just go into the dollar. Now, ideally, I want to see the dollar also come down in value, too. I want this thing to be negative. All right, I want everything to tank. Just, A, to get it over with, and B, when the idiots in the markets throughout the whole world, whatever they're investing in, stop being retarded and realize that it's all bullshit, and they start buying back in, a weaker dollar is actually going to make everything else go up, because obviously a weaker dollar means your dollar buys less. Right? It takes more dollars to buy the same thing, which means prices are going up. So, let's see. Unfortunately, it's 9:28. I want to see what Grayscale Bitcoin Trust stock is going to be, but you can't trade it off market hours, and it's going to open in 2 minutes. So, anyway, it's already 9:28. I've got a lot of work to do. I got a meeting as well, because that asshole that's using my Dragonflare Studios mark keeps growing his YouTube, and it's actually really pissing me off. So I'm hoping that, A, that this redpoints.com thing will work, and then B, I'll be able to afford it, which I think they should have something pretty affordable, right? Because I'm sure they've got to be working with like smaller people, right? Because they said everything is based on scale, so the more I use it or whatever, then yeah. So, we'll see what it says. But I just hope it's not like $500 a month. It's like, that's basically that's more than a law. That's 1.25 lawsuits a month, And I'm only going to need it for like a few properties, occasionally. Oh well, whatever. So anyway, here's my thumbnail. So I will see you all next week or later today after the markets close. So it's going to be pretty bad. So unless something big happens, but again, there's just so much manipulation that could just go either way. But Bitcoin will probably, at the rate Bitcoin's going, it should definitely tank below, like Bitcoin's already in the negative for the year. So it should go even more negative. So 25K, probably not unrealistic. Ideally, it would crash to 20 grand just to like just have a more established bottom, right? Just have everyone just get like really frazzled. But again, I'd be a little quick too because I don't see institutions getting interested in Bitcoin again. I mean, they're just like the institutions are just holding cash. Like well, they're holding cash and they're also manipulating. So it's just a very frustrating experience. Let's actually make sure the DeFi thing's here. So anyway, I'll see you all either next week or in a bit. And how long has this been video? 25 seconds. 25 minutes, 25 seconds. So, alright. I'm going to go. But, yeah, I would start going to the dollar. But believe it or not, the dollar would be a good idea as a defensive posture. And then just wait for this. I don't know. Like, this could be a really shitty month. Definitely a shitty week. I'm hoping, I want to be wrong about that because I want things to go back up. But in case I'm right, unfortunately, the dollar would be the best bet because everything's crashing much further in value than compared to the dollar, right? Because look, let's say the dollar is like slightly below. It's only going to lose 0.14, right? So, but everything else is literally losing 3, 5, 10%, you know? So you lose a lot less money. You're basically not losing money, right? Now, does that mean you should sell off all your cryptos? If you want to gamble a little bit, yeah, you could do that and then hope that the markets tank more and then buy back in. But what happens if crypto and the markets suddenly rebound? Right? There are reasons why it's supposed to be rebounding right now because earnings are going to be keeps, going up. That makes no sense. And inflation keeps going up. Like again, nobody knows what the fuck they're doing and it's just again pissing me off. Okay, yeah, the dollar's getting weaker. GBDC. Has this thing started trading yet? This thing has not traded yet. What is wrong with this stock? Yeah, Riot's down, which makes sense because Bitcoin's down a lot. Yeah, everything is just getting killed. My God, ExxonMobil's at 55. I am so glad that I dumped my Bank of America at ExxonMobil. I never want to buy stocks again. The exception would be Riot, but that's because I'm trying to trade crypto. I'm not trying to trade the stock markets. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty bloody day, but I've definitely seen days where things sell off, and then towards the middle and the end of the trading day, it starts recovering. And even in some cases, the markets end up neutral or slightly above. So, yeah, because people figure out, oh, this is all just bullshit. Let's reverse our course. I don't know. We'll just have to see at the end of the day. And I want to see what Greg Mannarino has to say. So, okay. All right. That's enough. I've already rambled on long enough. See you next week or later after the markets close.